Do you know the #1 reason plants die out there is because of lack of water? But not just because of lack of water, it's also because most people out there water by hand. Yes, when you water your plants by hand, if you're not consistent, or if you think you gave your plants enough water, but you didn't, your plant is not gonna care. In full sun, extreme temperatures, if your plants go dry, your plants are dead within a few hours. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna be teaching you, I'm gonna be showing you everything you need to know how to set up a fast and furious irrigation system, and the reason why. Let me show you. This is my poor Jamaican cherry tree right here. This poor guy here has been in the ground, I don't remember. But yeah, so I've been watering this guy every single day. But if I don't get to it fast enough, as you can see, the tree will wilt. Anytime your trees wilt, guess what? They're taking damage immediately. It's hindering the tree from actually performing 100%. I am tired of not watering my trees by hand, for one, but I also am tired of my trees not getting consistent water because I feel bad for it. I water this tree every single day, and it doesn't really matter how much water I put in this bucket. The tree will still wilt the next day if I don't get to it quick enough. Why? Because this tree, for one, it's in full sun. There's no wind block in this area because it's the only tree planted in the ground in here. And plants just like you and I, they will sweat. The hotter the environment, the more they sweat, the faster the soil dries. And on top of that, this soil over here drains the water amazing. A lot faster than my other property. If I flood this area here, it will be gone within the hour. You can see the water already soaking into the ground. And if you guys actually watch the video when I planted this tree in the ground, you can see how hard the soil was. And initially I thought it was not going to drain the water fast enough, but surprisingly it does. And that is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because that means you have to water more often. You cannot just flood it in here and think you're good to go for the next day or two. I water this tree every single day, and I give it about 10 gallons of water, and that is not enough. As you can see, my poor tree is wilting. It actually almost died on me, guys, because it was a lot hotter about a month and a half ago, and it got really windy, and I didn't get to my tree quick enough. You can see the video on the screen. The poor guy was terrible, and then he came back, and then every once in a while it's been wilting on me like this. So anyways, enough talking. Let's talk about what do you need to set up an irrigation system. All right, so the first thing you're gonna need is a hose bib. Most people have the hose bib outside their house, so that shouldn't be an issue. Next thing you're gonna need a timer. What kind of timer to get? It doesn't really matter as long as it works. I actually got a review on a rain point timer. You can check my video in the past. And yeah, so any timer will work. It's a lot better than watering by hand. Next, you're gonna need a hose adapter like this, and I will explain more why. Next, you're gonna need a hose to MPT adapter, or hose to polytubing adapter, which is exactly what I have in here. This one has an adapter up here, then it also has a pressure regulator down here, and then it has a polytubing adapter, so you can hook up your polytubing directly to your timer, because the threads on this timer are meant for a hose. Next, you're gonna need 1/2-inch tubing like this. This is called polytubing. You can buy online, easy to get. Affiliate links in the description and all that good stuff if you want to help the channel. Next, you're gonna need 1/4-inch tubing, which is this one right here. Also, you're gonna need some couplings. This is what a coupling looks like, and then this hooks up to the end of the 1/4-inch tubing right here, and it goes to your main line. After that, you're gonna need drippers. There are millions and millions of different kind of drippers out there. It doesn't really matter what kind you get. I will tell you why I use this type, and like I say, you can use whatever you want, but this is what I like, and once I set it up, I'll tell you why. And also, you're gonna need a polytubing clamp like this one, and I'll show you how to use this. So without further ado, let's get started with the system. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna need is you're gonna go ahead and use your hose adapter right here. This is an extension. It's flexible. You're gonna hook that up. To your hose bib like this. Next, we're gonna hook up our timer. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to explain to you why I use this extension piece. A lot of these timers have this plastic fitting in here. And the main complaint that you're going to have for timers of this type is if you trip on the hose or the poly tubing and you're not paying attention, you will break this right here. So by putting a flexible extension like this, it will relieve the pressure from that fitting. You should not have any issues. Next, we're gonna hook up our poly tubing adapter right here. Make sure that you have the rubber gasket underneath it, inside it. That will prevent the water from leaking. Now, we're gonna go ahead and hook up our poly tubing to this fitting here. Get the end, and then you just slide it in. Once it's all the way in, this specific one I really like because all you gotta do is thread it in like this, and that will hold the pipe in place and it will prevent it from actually coming out. Now let me talk about the whole system here. Flexible extension piece prevents the plastic fitting from breaking. Next, you're gonna have the adapter over here. This piece right here has everything you need. So it has the adapter, it has the pressure regulator. Why do we need a pressure regulator? Well, this fittings right here, this poly tubing right here, and all the drippers and all the adapters that you use, they're not meant to handle the pressure that you get from the city. Usually most places out there are gonna have either 70 to about close to 100 psi coming from the main. And this right here will reduce that pressure to about, I would say, if you want to use a drip system like this, go 15 psi all the way to about 30 psi and you should be good to go. And what that does is it prolongs the life of your drip system, so that it's not under constant pressure that it's not supposed to handle, and it will also prevent leaks in the future. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to run this main line close to the trees that we want to water. So the first tree that I have here is this Jamaican cherry right here. So that's not a big deal. It's right there. So I'm gonna bring the hose this way, and then I want to water my other trees that I planted. If you guys remember, I planted a neem tree and I also planted an Amla, or an Indian gooseberry, and they're all the way over there, probably about 100 feet that way. But you see this jungle over here? Yeah, this is a problem. I'm gonna go ahead and fix this right now so I can get through here. All right, now that we got a clear path, let's go ahead and grab the poly tubing right here, and we're gonna bring it close to where I need to water my trees. I only needed to come all the way here because I need to water my Indian gooseberry Amla right here. And always check your lines, make sure you get the kinks out, because as you start rolling it, a lot of the times you're gonna get kinks like this, just like that, like this right here. You gotta fix those as soon as possible. Never leave your tubing kinked, because it may not seem like a big deal right now, but over the years, that's where you're actually gonna get leaks, because that will weaken the pipe. So the next step is you need to get your 1/4 inch line. This line right here will go directly to your trees. The line that we just ran, that is your main line. It doesn't have to be close to your trees, because a lot of the times you're gonna have trees all over your property, and it's just easier to run a main line around the perimeter of your property and bring the water directly to your trees using this 1/4 inch line. How long to run then? Well, it doesn't really matter. Actually, it does matter. Technically, you're not supposed to run these lines longer than 15 feet from your main line, if you want full pressure. But we're using these drippers right here, and these drippers right here are 4 gallon an hour. So even if I run this line longer than 15 feet, I'm still gonna have enough pressure to push at least 4 gallons of water an hour. So I would say keep it about between 15 to 30 feet. Do not run these 1/4 inch lines longer than that. Okay, so I got my 3 lines cut right here. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab some couplings. This is what the couplings look like. And then that side right here goes inside your 1/4 inch line, and the pointy end goes inside your main line. So let me go ahead and grab the other parts that I need to finish the job, to finish the irrigation system, which we are almost done. There's a tool that you can use to pre-drill the holes into the main line. But if you get this pointy couplings right here, usually you can just push them into the line with your fingers. And then you're gonna hear like a click, like a pop, once the actual dripper is inside the line. And this is what it's supposed to look like. And what you do is you get your line, and then this is the line that's gonna bring water to my tree right here. We're just gonna leave it there for now. Here's my neem tree. If you guys follow my channel, I planted this tree I guess maybe a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months. As you can see, I got new growth right here, and this one's doing a little better than the strawberry tree, simply because, well, I guess I've been watering it better. And then I actually have this jugs right here where I will water with my hose, and then I will leave this behind so that way it will trickle water over an hour or so, like a slow watering, so that way it will penetrate the soil. But this tree here, it's doing better than the strawberry tree, simply because it has a taproot system. The strawberry tree has a shallow fibrous root system, and those trees really do not benefit from deep watering. So let me go ahead and hook up my line over here. And the last tree to do is this Indian gooseberry, also known as Amla. So let me go ahead and do that one now. As you can see, I was using a jug to water this one as well, and it's doing okay considering I haven't been consistent watering. We're almost done. Now the next thing we gotta do is we gotta flush the line, so let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's go ahead and turn the water on, check for leaks. If you have any leaks, all you gotta do is tighten the fittings a little tighter. And then let's go ahead and then turn the timer on. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see the screen. I wanna water right now because I wanna flush the line, so I'm gonna go ahead and water for probably a minute or so. And you can hear the water coming out, no leaks. We got water coming out of the 1/4 inch line. Walk down your main line. Make sure you don't have any holes from the kinks, especially if you have your poly tubing laying in the sun, kinked up. You may develop leaks, so follow your main line. But yes, so usually when you're flushing it, all it takes is just a few minutes. You can see water's coming out just fine. So the next step we're gonna do is we're gonna close the loop. And then you're gonna bend your pipe. Just like that. And you're gonna use the other hole to hold it in place. And that will keep the water from flowing out. Now we can go ahead and install the drippers. These are the drippers that I use, and I'll tell you why I like them. I'm not being sponsored by anybody, so this is just my personal experience from installing easily a few thousand of these drippers over the years. So the way you hook up this dripper is just like your coupling. You slide it, just insert it at the end of your 1/4 inch tubing like this, all the way up, and you're done. And then let's say this gets clogged for whatever reason in the future. The main reason I like them is because you can take the head off like this. You can clear the line and then put it back in, and they're good to go. I don't need this anymore, so let me clear the grass over here so I can get my neem tree in here. I got an ant infestation because I'm in water in this area, and critters know where the good stuff is. Anyways, dripper right here for new plants. Put her somewhere close to the trunk of your plant, because remember, your roots are not developed yet. It's gonna take a while. So right there. And let's go get the Jamaican cherry. Jamaican cherry here, it's already perking up from being wilted earlier. And put your head close to the trunk of your tree so that way you know it's gonna get water. I'm gonna run it right now for 15 minutes. You can hear the water coming out, and then there's the dripper. So this dripper puts out 4 gallons an hour roughly. So in about 15-minute time it will put out about a gallon. Now this tree right here, I was watering 8 gallons a day with this bucket, almost full. This is a lot of water, guys, but remember, my soil drains the water very quickly in here. So it's not about the volume, it's about the frequency, especially for new trees in the ground, because most trees will take about 6 months to a year, if not more, to develop the root systems. This is a fast growing tree. It will probably be a little bit bigger. This is my 5-gallon bucket right here, you can see. But remember, it struggled. Anytime your plants struggle while they're rooting themselves in the ground, it will set you back. But thankfully, this is a very fast growing tree, so I probably only lost about a month to 6 weeks of growth. So that's not a big deal. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm probably gonna water this tree here twice a day for 30 minutes. So that way it gets about 4 gallons of water a day. The problem that I had earlier is I was only able to come here once a day, and it didn't matter how much water I put in the ground, the tree needed the second watering later in the day, because this tree has a shallow root system. Very fast growing, and it doesn't really benefit from deep watering, and my soil drains the water very quickly. Now let's talk about the timer. All timers are gonna have the same type of features: how often and how long. So the first thing you got to do is you got to set your time. So my time, it's set right now, so it is 12:22 p.m. right now. I want the water to come on in the morning. I would say it starts getting hot, let's do 7 in the morning. So the tree will be wet and ready for a hot day. Let's say the duration, we're gonna do 15 minutes. Let's say the days, we're gonna water every single day. And since I wanna water the tree twice a day, we're gonna have to set another start time. So let's see how we do that one. We do okay, second watering, yes, okay. All right, it says in here, add a second start time, yes. So where we're gonna go is we're gonna set the time. It says yes, select yes, press okay. Now I want the second time to come on. I would say, let's do 2 in the afternoon, p.m. and then it's set. And then once you're done with most timers, you got to go back to auto, and then that will keep your program, and that should be fine. And then this is something that you can change, no problem at all. Now remember, my trees are brand new in the ground, so next year I will probably gonna have to water, instead of 15 minutes, I'm gonna probably go the full hour. And then instead of every single day, twice a day, it'll probably be every single day for the Jamaican cherry. And then I'll have to set up a different program for the neem tree and the Amla tree, because those trees have tap roots, so they don't really need that frequent watering. But we can talk about that at another time. Now I got links for all the stuff that I use, affiliate links in the description, guys. Like I said, you can use any timer you want. You can use this one here. You can use the one that I used for the review, or you can use the one that I reviewed just a few weeks ago. Some of you guys are gonna be asking, oh my god, why are you not using the one that you reviewed a few weeks ago if it's that amazing? Well, two reasons, guys. Reason number one is I don't have Wi-Fi here. I don't have internet, and that timer is a Wi-Fi internet, so you need internet to run that timer. Reason number two, I gave it away. I give the stuff away that I get, guys. If I'm reviewing something, I'm gonna give it away because I want to share the love. I don't want to be greedy. But anyways, guys, that's it. Super easy to do. That is one way you can actually fix the problem of hang watering. Your plants are going to thank you. And I can tell you, if you actually take the time to do what I just did, you will get a lot better results from your plants than any fertilizer, any magical juices you can buy out there. Guaranteed, I promise you. If you're watering by hand and you have a lot of plants, or you're just not consistent enough, just set your plants on automatic watering. Your plants are going to thank you. Anyways, guys, as always, if you have any questions, comment below. If you like the video, don't forget to like it. It shows me that you like stuff like this, and I will make more videos. And as always, I will see you next time.